But yeah,
because that little extra that Daryl posted the other day was funny.
I know.
I listened to it. I usually don't.
I completely forgot about it.
Well, so did I. And I was like, why was this an extra? This was funny.
I will tell you why, because it was one of those shows where we talked for way too long.
And he had to cut something.
And I told him, I said, it's too long. No one's going to listen to the end. You've got to cut some shit.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. And he's like, oh, this is nice. Clip. And then he kept it.
Well, I'm glad he did because it was funny.
I know. I love it. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Sometimes I think it's just funny to us.
I don't know. I thought it was funny.
I know, but is it just funny because it's us? And we're like, yeah, that was funny.
That's why we do the show. We do the show for our enjoyment. We don't actually go, I wonder what the listeners think about this. We don't care. I mean,
no, we care, but
no, we don't.
In the scheme of things, it's like no one's really listening.
Hello. It's like, I saw a meme the other day. It's like, this is what it looks like when you're on Threads. And it was somebody screaming into an empty room. And I'm like, first of all, that's not true. Threads is actually really fun.
I haven't really played on it too much since I joined.
I like it.
I just haven't, I work, and so I only have so much time for social media and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm a TikTok fool, so it's ridiculous.
Honestly, I get burned out on social media quickly.
Oh, I don't quickly.
I do.
But I will get burned out eventually.
First of all, welcome to the Ugly Truth. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Show 644. We are back after our long holiday break. If you were actually waiting for a new episode, here we are. Hello.
I forgot to Ugg.
Ugg. Hello. Yeah, that's what I meant to do. I sound like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, God.
Hello. Anyway, I do get burned out on social media because I'm just like, you know what? I'm so over all of it. I get over it so quickly. First of all, I hate Facebook with a passion.
I do too.
I hate it.
I'm really getting to that.
I keep it because I do like to.
Well, you have to.
Well, you do. And not only that, but I mean,
it's the OG of social media.
I have to tell you, I get very angry when I'm on Facebook because I'm so like over people in general.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Facebook is like everyone's therapist or everyone's,
so many things.
They want to vent. They want to whatever. It's like
they want to brag. And I mean, just so many things.
I would love more bragging. That would be great.
That gets on my goddamn nerves.
People are constantly.
It's the same people. It's like the perfect couple that's on every other photo is them in Costa Rica. We're in Puerto Rico this weekend. Next week, we're going to the Giants game. And like every fucking. No, I'm not jealous. Well, but it's always these side by side, my best friend, and I get it. And I really hope that what I'm seeing on social media is real.
No, it's not.
But I don't need to see it every fucking day.
Well, first of all, if someone is protesting that much about how amazing
that's what you say.
Their couples are, oh my God, he's perfect. There's something is not right.
It's not just one of them; it's both of them.
Well, then they're trying really hard for a reason.
They're new empty nesters, and because the husband was in law enforcement, he's really young and he's retired because they're our age, right? So they're 50, and
that's nice.
It is nice. So I think it probably is mostly real.
They're like celebrate
they are.
Great taste. Come on,
and because when you're in law enforcement, you make a tidy little sum
at the end.
You do.
Yes,
and so I think they're truly, living their best life.
Or it's more like he survived.
Or maybe that.
Now he can live his life. But yeah, you're right.
But it's literally every day.
Old.
I'm like, I can see doing it, once in a while. Even if you're doing all of these things, that's great. But you don't need to post every day.
Actually, what I would prefer is photo dumps. Just go go silent for a few months and then just go, oh, this is what we've been. I mean, if you feel the need to share, then dump it all every let's just do quarterly photo dumps, everyone.
Traveling is one of those things that it's really fun to post on social media. I know you don't.
I don't.
You're the weird one, but
I know.
Most people feel it's just such a joyous thing to do.
It is a joyous thing.
And it's amazing. Feel so great when you're doing it that you want to share it with everyone.
It's one of those things. I don't know why you know what? I've always been this way, actually. I'm so fiercely private.
It's so fucking annoying.
I know.
Because when you go on vacation, even I don't know what the fuck's going on.
You're like, wait a minute. What?
I'm like, can you post a photo or something?
Are you alive? Have you been trafficked?
No, I know you're alive because I know you. I'm like, she's perfectly fine. They're probably having a fabulous time, but I don't know because she won't even post a goddamn picture.
I know.
One.
I know.
And then when you do, it's like scenery. I'm so mad.
I know. It's true. It's like, so
okay,
true.
Yes, this is beautiful, but
you're like, how am I supposed to live vicariously through you if you don't put a fucking human being on this island?
Even Daryl, it could even be him, and I would be fine. At least I would see that there was someone there at the place wherever it is you're at.
Oh, so a couple of things New Year's Eve wise.
Yeah.
One, So every year I do a calendar and I pull all the pictures from the year before and I create a calendar. And so I'm currently working on it and I've been a little lazy with it. I'm just like, oh God. And one of the reasons is because I lost my sweet Sunny boy.
Yes.
And so now he's not in the calendar anymore. So, it's just changes, but we did a lot of stuff this last year. So there's a ton of pictures. So I'm just trying to go through it, but I'm like, God, I feel like there's some pictures that I'm missing. And so I asked Daryl, I go, hey, do you have, he's like, oh yeah, I have some. He sends me 60 pictures that he had on his phone. And most of them are of me, side profile, Stephanie.
You can't
side profile.
No.
Really?
Did you really
there's a picture of me. We're at Austin City Limits, and we're sitting on the floor in the corner because it got really hot and humid, and we were wearing jeans and stuff. And so we're sitting on the floor back in the back watching the show, and he took a fucking picture of me. So not only am I not sitting up straight, I've got the big old gullet on the side view gullet. Thank God there was no gut. See, I literally could have looked like a letter B from the side. Jesus. And I'm like, why did you send this to me, first of all? And why do you still have it?
I guarantee you he loved it.
He didn't see the pelican?
No.
He's like, look, I'm married to a pelican now. No. Like, what the fuck?
Like, I love my little pelican.
Jeez. I'm like, okay, I don't know why. I'm assuming this just got slipped in there because there's no way he thinks I'm putting this
Jamie,
in a calendar.
This man has taken photos of you that he's like, what, you look beautiful. And even I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, she is beautiful.
But stop with
this.
But this
photo is like,
I can promise you this. There is no one on this planet who takes a worse photo of me than Daryl. I've never met any. I mean, and this is coming from a family where our father took great pleasure in making sure we looked ugly in pictures.
Oh my God.
He loved it when we were blinking or we had a weird mouth.
Why?
Sadistic.
Was it sadistic or was it like humor to him? Like, these are funny because they're not perfect.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like,
I just think he liked anything that made us look stupid.
I just can't.
He's just like, look at my dumb little children. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, Daryl doesn't look at it like that. But other than just purposely trying to catch someone in a bad position, Daryl will just go click.
Well,
aww,
I kind of think men in general do this because I think for them is like, as long as the people are in the photo and they've captured it.
Yes.
It's a picture.
It's fine.
Yeah.
There is a
How
friend.
they actually look doesn't matter.
There's a friend, you know him, Con.
Yes.
He was taking photos when we all went away for the weekend a few months ago. And we
talked about it on the show, the Ocean House.
Yes. He took a picture of Daryl and I because I was wearing a white sweater with black leather leggings. And Daryl was wearing like almost white colored khaki jeans.
Really light khaki jeans.
And a black sweater. And he goes, you guys are literally the opposite. You're like a yin and a yang. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. He goes, I got to take a picture. I'm like, okay, fine. As long as I don't have to ever look at it because I know it'll be gross. I look good in it.
It was Con can take pictures.
Con can take a photo. And
Con
I'm like,
is now the photographer for
I was like, so when I see him going around taking rando photos, I'm like, I can tell you this, I won't look like shit in it. I know that. And I'm like, come to me. Come photograph me always. So I can see what I actually look like instead of this weird, angly crap. Blurry, whatever.
Right. I had a friend who went away for Christmas to another state, and the whole family basically joined in the state. And she literally got into a 2-day fight with her sister-in-law, who she never sees because they live in another state.
Right.
Because she posted photos on social media
without approval. Mm-hmm. Oh, not good.
And when she saw it, she's like, for the love of God. No. And she wouldn't take it down. And so it was like,
you can untag yourself.
Well, they weren't even friends, but she was friends with her daughter.
Oh,
so she had tagged the daughter so she could see what was on there because
did the sister-in-law look amazing?
That didn't even matter.
At this
point, she was blind.
She could only see herself.
She could only see herself and her chin. That's what she said. She's like, chins. God. And this girl is thin and beautiful.
I understand.
So she was like, she's like, we argued for 2 days. We fought. I was going to
take it down.
Assault her. She would not take it down.
And the thing is that I've had those photos. There was a photo of me once. I went down to LA to hang out with my friend Leslie, rest in peace. And I went down and she took me to a real Irish bar, and it was an amazing evening, and we started dancing, and someone took a photo of us dancing, but it's me with my ass fully sticking out, and I'm like half bent over. It is one of the most unattractive photos of myself I have ever seen in my life.
What was it posted on? Like Facebook. Social media?
It was Facebook. And I was like, you must remove this photo. I'm sorry. This doesn't even look, it actually didn't even look like me. Like I legitimately can be.
You're like, who is that?
Exactly. And I went, who's this hippo? And then
Jamie.
And then I said, Lizzie, I go, can you please? And she's like, you know what? Yes. I'm like, thank you.
Yes, God. And it's not insulting when someone agrees with you that you look bad.
Yeah.
People think that if what, you look good. Like they have to say that to you. I'm
it's
like,
a lie.
Stop it. Yeah.
We're all human. We have bad angles. Everyone does.
Yes.
Even a baby. Even babies have bad angles.
They do.
Come on. They're still sweet.
Which is why newborn photos in the hospital are generally like, oh,
God, they're hilarious.
Yeah. They're like, jeez, Lord. Yeah,
I saw something.
Your baby is so cute.
I saw something the other day. It made me laugh. It said, now that my children are older and I'm not, I don't have the rose-colored glasses where, all moms think their babies are just absolutely beautiful and perfect.
I think they do the first one. Veronica and I talked about that. She's like, by the time I had my third child, I was like, ooh, this one's ugly.
Exactly. And so
she goes, I just didn't tell anyone.
She goes, then I look back and look at the photos of my kids and I'm like, oh, you're not that cute. What was I thinking?
Well, you know what? They're like puppies when you smell them. If there's something that makes you like euphoric and you think, you know what I mean?
Hey, if parents didn't think their children were beautiful when they were born, there'd be no people.
I know, right?
We'd throw them in the lake and start over.
I mean, what do you really expect after the experience that they just went through to come out of this earth? And they're going to just be like, la.
No, they're in shock.
Like glamorous. Yes.
They're traumatized. They are traumatized. They're looking around going, what the hell is happening to me?
It's kind of like the same look you have after you've had surgery. No amount of makeup.
It's true.
Or hairbrushing.
There's nothing.
And we've all, well, I don't know if we've all, you and I know I prepare.
Stephanie, we're so pale, we're practically yellow after surgery.
We're like albinos.
It's so bad.
I don't know about you. Birth and surgeries, I shower, I do my hair
everything.
because I know by the time it's over, I'm going to look so horrid.
You're like 3 days later, I'm going to look like shit.
And I'm probably not going to be able to shower for the next 2 days. So you try to do makeup. It's a joke.
No, it is.
It is an absolute joke.
Okay, so that was the calendar thing. The second thing is Mackenzie, my daughter, and I have this really weird, it's not a resolution. It's more of like I don't know, like this decision we decided to do for 2024. And we're going to see how long we can do it.
Okay.
And she said she saw it on TikTok, maybe. I don't remember, but she said a girl has decided to log every time she cries in 2024. No. And so Kenzie goes, I'm going to do it too. You should do it. And I'm like, I never cry.
Never?
No, it's
not even alone.
No.
That's the only time I cry.
I'm in denial.
I was about to say.
I cry all the time. And so, but I didn't realize. And so I said, I'll do that with you. I mean, whatever.
Well, what qualifies as a cry? Is getting choked up on a commercial a cry?
I think it has to go just like a smidge past choking up. It's got to be like you've at least got to go like there's got to be like a little wetness.
Okay,
like you've got to at least some kind of tear.
You can't gulp it down in like you can when you get teary.
Now the reason that I decided to do this is we were on our way.
This is a bad idea, by the way.
New Year's Eve, we did. Daryl's brother had a party and they invited us. Now. Normally, we would never do it. I actually said I didn't want to do it. I said,
do what? Go
to the party because we have our own little thing where we like to stay home. We get drunk on champagne. We make an amazing meal and we have caviar and we do all the things. We get dressed up. But they're like, no, we want to do a party. And we're like, all right, fine, we'll go. But then we're leaving at midnight like a normal after a party.
But then how do you drink?
We didn't, not really.
Which would suck.
We had a little champagne and a little bit, but I mean, overall, no, we didn't.
Because I'm not.
I refuse to drink and drive on New Year's Eve.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Especially
and the distance between, they couldn't live
farther. It was like a 30-minute drive. Yeah. Yes. So we're not drinking. We did have a glass of wine when we got a little bit, but I mean, overall, no, we did not.
It wasn't a drinking evening.
Not at all. And it's fine. I mean, I like hanging out with them. It's social. There was a lot of people there. It was really fun. So, I mean, that wasn't the problem. But anyway, so we were on our way to the party and I was telling Daryl about The Crown.
Oh, yeah.
Because
for God's sakes.
The final season of The Crown, you and I are both obsessed.
Yeah.
It was so incredibly good. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so I said, I know now he watched a little bit of the first 4 episodes.
If you're not in,
he did the Princess Diana thing, but the second half he did not watch.
I feel like if you haven't invested in the show like every season,
you really.
It doesn't have the same impact.
Exactly.
It's not a drive-by watching show.
You're right. If you have to be pretty invested in it.
And you and I are. We've been since season 1.
Yes.
So we're all in.
I'm explaining to him the episode about the sisters where it's Elizabeth and Margaret and they're basically their whole life together.
Yeah.
And what I really loved about that specific episode was how close they actually were, regardless of the job and all that, the drama and, all that stuff. Margaret reminded me so much of you.
Right. And they had such a similar dynamic.
Very similar dynamic. They, at the end of the day, when they're really old, they're friends, which I fucking loved.
I did too.
And I firmly believe that a lot of that is based on truth. I do too. I can't imagine that they just pulled that out of their butt.
Well, if you read about the relationship, many people have commented on the relationship that the Queen had with her.
Close.
Yes.
So anyway, I'm telling him about the episode and I'm telling him about how they portrayed Margaret passing away. And
God, Jamie!
I'm on my way to a New Year's Eve party and I am crying.
Telling Daryl?
Yes.
Oh,
and I said, and the reason
Daryl's probably like,
well, he's just quietly listening. And I go, it's just because it reminds me of me and Stephanie and it was really moving. And if you have a sister like that, it will profoundly affect you.
Yes.
Especially if you grew up together. I mean, just everything. And so
luckily for us, that would be like looking into the future, but I think that was part of it for me is like looking down the road. I'm like, God, when we're old and everything. And
oh my God.
Who will it be?
Who will it be?
Oh my God.
It has to be me. It has
to be
me.
it doesn't.
I want it to be me. That's not my point. But anyway, so
because you don't want to watch me die, but vice versa.
I'm the oldest. It's natural.
But we're barely older we're literally 2 years apart. It could easily be either one of us, and I would venture to say it would be me.
Why?
Because I've abused the shit out of my body. Way more than you.
We don't know anything.
Well,
anyway,
whatever.
So I'm telling him about this episode, and I'm like, and I'm crying, and he goes, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, and he's like, honey, I think you should stop telling me about this because you're upsetting yourself. And I'm like, I'm not upset. I am moved. And he's like, okay. I'm like, it's okay if art does this to you, And I was really emotional. I'm like, it is art. I was really passionate. And he's like, okay. And then finally I'm like, you know what? I am going to log my cries this year. I think I'm going to log them.
I'm embracing this.
I'm going to find out what I cry at. So I've got some. You want to hear?
Well, you've already been chronologically writing
hell yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I'm curious. They're so dumb, Stephanie. They're so dumb.
No, I mean, if I did this, I'd be embarrassed because I'd probably just be like,
okay,
so I cried 10 times today.
So the New Year's Eve
I'm crying right now.
Sorry, the New Year's Eve doesn't count because it was 2023 officially.
Right.
So that one doesn't count.
Excuse me.
My first cry of the year was on the 3rd.
Okay, hey, that's pretty good.
Daryl was telling me about a hockey game where they did a moment of silence for, it was like somebody cancer or something.
Okay.
So the hockey game decided to do a moment of silence, and someone out in the crowd yelled, "Fuck you, cancer!" And the whole crowd roared and cheered.
Aww.
And I'm like,
yeah, that would make me cry too.
Stop it. And
I know, right?
I'm like, don't send me the TikTok. I don't want to see it. I'm crying. The other day.
Oh, shit.
My next cry was on the 5th.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I was on Reddit. I love Reddit. I'm obsessed. I'm reading stories about people putting their dogs down.
Oh, no. Why?
I don't know.
That is so dumb.
I don't know.
I can't. That's like me watching shows about children who were abused to death for 10 years before they finally die. Jamie.
By the way, I can't watch that movie. That's why I can't watch it.
Which one?
The Fury Freedom movie. The Sound of Freedom.
Oh, God, Jamie.
I can't watch it.
I didn't know what it was about, to be fair. I guess I live in a hole because everybody knew about this movie but me.
Well, it was huge over the summer.
Not to me. I've never heard of it.
I know.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah. And you're right. Jim Caviezel apparently did a fantastic job.
I just love him.
Yes.
That's why I watched it, to be honest.
Of course. But every person I knew who saw that movie went, oh, Jamie, it's so good. And I said, I can't watch it.
It's only
and they're
good.
like, why? It's so good. I'm
No.
like, I don't care that it's good. It's not about that. It's like, I can't watch children suffer. I don't care if it's not real.
It is real, though.
No. I mean, I know the story's real.
Right.
I meant the movie. I don't. The kids aren't actually suffering. But
right in the movie. But the whole thing is that that stuff is real. It does happen. It's all those things are true.
I'm like, God, and they're like, well, you're really missing out. And I'm like, I really am not.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you're
like,
not.
I don't need to.
I would never watch it again, and I may not have watched it had I known what it was about. But I got sucked in, and then it was too late.
Yes, and then finally, I cried on the 6th. We're gonna do a mini episode on the Golden Bachelor wedding.
Oh, did you cry on it?
I did. I got verklempt, but
I didn't want to admit it because I wasn't sure.
I shed a tear when they asked Susan to officiate.
That's all? That's the moment?
That was the first moment.
That was a good moment, though.
But anyway, we will be doing a mini episode of the Golden Bachelor. But but yes, that was and I was like, God damn it!
I know,
and I'm like, and you know what? I was the same as you. I'm like, I don't want to admit that I got emotional because a lot of people thought this was a stupid show, and I'm like,
did they?
Yeah, but I didn't.
I don't care anymore.
And we'll talk about it on our episode. But anyway, those are the 3 times I've cried since the new year.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
No,
but
my list would be much longer.
Really?
Yes.
You got to keep track and tell me some.
Well, yeah, I will.
Start keeping track.
I mean, it's too late for me to start from scratch. But
just start today.
But it is kind of funny, and it would be really interesting, even if for nothing else for myself.
Yes.
I'd be like, Jesus.
So every time
shrink.
So now Kenzie cries. Every time Kenzie cries, she sends me a screenshot of her notes on what it is she cried about. And it's always usually like TV or, she saw she saw some roadkill, whatever.
Well, it's unfair because we're women and our emotions go with our hormones, and sometimes you can't control that. And it really it pisses me off quite often, actually.
Yes.
Because I don't want to cry, but I find myself getting ready to do it. I'm like, God damn it.
I will say that I'm embracing my emotions more as I get older than I used to because we're human beings. We have emotions for a reason. And you know what? I will say I appreciate as men get older, they cry as well.
Yes. Although, I mean, I don't know about Daryl, but
he does not full blown cry very often. The last time I saw him cry was when Sonny died.
Oh, when Sonny died. Yeah.
When Sonny died, it was pretty emotional because Bodega was really devastated.
Oh, Jamie.
And when he saw Bodega, he lost. I'm like, well, I'm glad that Bodega made you cry.
Well,
not me losing my fucking mind in the truck.
He's used to that. I mean,
that was the weirdest pain I'd ever felt in my life, by the way.
There's nothing.
I was literally like, I was shocked. Like, I can't, and I even remember being in the car going, I can't believe this is happening. But I mean, it's a dog. They die.
No, they do.
But it was just so fast.
It's one of the crazy. Well, I'm grateful for that, to be honest with you, with animals, because if it went on like it does with humans, oh my God.
Oh God.
But once you've gone through that, and I have too, you're so afraid of the next time you have to do it.
Trauma
that you can't. It's almost like an obsessive thought.
We're doing it with Bodega right now,
right? And so I have my love of my life cat that I've had. He's 15.
He's still around.
Yes,
good boy. I was thinking about you the other day, going, is she going to just come over and rant, and I'm going to have to ask, or is she going to tell me when the cat dies?
Jamie, I would tell you.
Okay,
when he dies, I mean, every single day
you're like, are you there?
I examine him. I'm like, are you walking funny? Why is your hair like Maddie? Did you clean yourself today?
I'm like,
you're getting skinny.
I know.
So, and they're just getting old.
Yeah, they get old.
So literally, like I am consumed with thoughts of him dying and how I'm trying to prepare for it, and I can't. I'm like, I'm not going to be prepared. Period.
No, you can't. You try, but And I will say though, like, I don't know, with cats, it's not hard for me.
Well,
I don't know why, but I've said goodbye to a lot of cats, and I'm just like, yeah, you lived a good life.
It depends on the bond. So I've loved all of my pets and all of my cats, but there's one and
he's special.
He's special.
Everybody has special animals, and I'm so grateful because it makes life a little bit better.
Yeah.
A little bit better.
Anyway.
So I'm logging my cries. Okay. We'll see how long it lasts.
Yeah. You might get tired of it after a while, but
you know what? What's going to happen is I'm going to cry and get pissed. I'm like, you know what? I'm not writing this one down. This one makes me mad. This is bullshit.
I don't want anyone to know.
No. Really quick, did I tell the story on the show about how I almost ran out of gas?
No.
I didn't?
In your car?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I'll tell that story. We'll do Ugly and Awkward Moment, and then we'll move forward. So Mackenzie, unfortunately, inherited our migraines.
Oh, that sucks.
And migraines usually hit anywhere between the age of 18 and 25. She's 28. and she is now, and she's been getting them for a while, but now they're becoming debilitating where she needs like Imitrex. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
she can't go to work or she can't whatever.
She does what we all do. She went to work, and then the lights of the kitchen were so bright to her that she was getting sick. She was throwing up because the pain got so bad. Yeah. And so they sent her home, and, and this went on for like 2 days. And so she messaged me, she Snapchatted me, and she's like, oh, I have a migraine, I'm home again. I'm like, oh my God, do you have anything? She goes, I've literally done everything I can do. Excedrin migraine, coffee, water, sleep, blackness, all the things.
Everything.
And nothing's working. I go, oh, well, you need real medication. And she's like, yeah, but obviously my benefits kick in January and all the things. I'm like, all right, that's it. I am running low on my Imitrex because there's some insurance things going on.
Yeah.
So they're like, I'm rationing them.
So you're rationing them. I know. I've been there, done that.
But I had a half a pill that I could easily give her. And I knew that if she took it, she'd be good for good.
Yeah.
So I drove it down there.
Holy shit.
Well, first of all, it's Napa. Like, come on. It's not a bad drive.
No, it's not beautiful. A bad drive, but for a half a pill, Jesus.
Worth it. And it was worth it to her. So anyway,
I would have done it too, of course.
Of course. And so I told Daryl, I said, I'm going to go take her. And I brought her more than just the pill. I brought her some other stuff. And I said, I'm going to go do that. And
he mama package?
Of course, he's jealous. He's like, oh,
why was he working?
Yeah, it was like a Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, well, I wish I could go. I'm like, oh, well, it's no big deal. And I go, hey, I'm at 3/4 of a tank. I should be okay, right?
Oh, Jamie.
And he goes, yeah, you'll be fine. I said, all right. Now, I absolutely can get my own gas. It has nothing to do with incapabilities.
I was like, wait.
It's nothing like that. But he's like, oh, should I? And he was on a call. He's like, well, do you want me to go fill up the car? And I'm like, no, it's fine. I want to go. It's getting late. And I want to
get it over with. Yeah.
Yeah, because the sooner the better.
Yeah.
And so he goes, all right, bye. And so I drive all the way down there, no problem. I get in the car and I'm like, well, I'm below a half. And my car is old.
Well, and you also have a V8.
Yes.
So it sucks
gas. And so I'm like, I'll be fine. Well, I did not take into consideration traffic. So I hit gridlock in Vacaville.
And then I'm like, can't do anything.
And I'm stuck in the middle of the road. Have
one of those where it tells you your average mile per gallon, like how many miles, and then like how many miles before you run out?
Yes. Okay. I have miles till empty. And so I'm like, okay, so
I hate that thing.
I'm in Vacaville and
you're low.
And I have 50 miles till empty. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll make it. 50 miles.
But when you're idling, it just.
So
I know.
I still wasn't mathing. And I hit like Dixon and I'm blowing through, and then I hit Sacramento, and all of a sudden it's gridlock again. And not only that, but there's some kind of like event happening. So it's really bad. And there's construction, and it's like 5 o'clock.
Oh shit, the worst.
So it's just,
you're not moving.
No one's going anywhere. And so I'm like, and I was like, oh great. And I can't even turn off anywhere because I'm in the middle lane.
Right.
And the construction has things diverted.
And you're like,
I'm like, all right. And then I look down and it says you're 13 miles till empty.
Oh shit.
And I'm easily 40 minutes away from home because of the traffic. And I'm like,
yeah, that's further than 13 miles.
Well,
No, it is.
It is. Yeah.
Because I know where you are.
And I'm like, okay, all I need to do is get past downtown and I can pull over anywhere and get gas. I could do downtown, but it's impossible to get off the freeway.
Well, there's very few places to get gas downtown.
That's the other thing is that I whip out my phone.
Because I work there now, so I don't put myself in that situation anymore.
I whip out my phone. I'm like,
there's like 2 places.
And they're far away anyway. And I'm like, it would be worth it just to get past this and then just pull up on Howe or something and, whatever. So anyway, I'm sitting there and all of a sudden it's 8 miles till empty and I have barely moved. And I'm like, I'm having anxiety. I'm going to run out. And people are going to be mad at me because I'm in the left lane. I'm in the far right. I'm in the far left lane.
You're in the fast lane?
But yes, but it's not. I can't go anywhere.
No one's going fast.
But I can't even
but it's the farthest lane from the side where you can pull over.
I can't even get anywhere. I can't even beg people to let me over at this point. I'm literally stuck. So I'm having full on anxiety and I'm watching my tick, tick, tick down. And I'm like, Kenzie or Malia and I were in that car once many years ago. And I was at 5 miles till empty and I ran out of gas.
Oh, shit.
And I know that. And I was like...
So you're like, I'm legit going to run out of gas.
I was like, I'm going to run out of gas. People are going to be pissed because you're like, you ran out of gas?
Can you even get over to where you're not in the lane of traffic?
I'm literally stuck. And that's why so I called Daryl. Nothing he can do, of course.
But you needed to tell someone.
I said, I am having an anxiety attack. And he goes, why? What's the matter? I'm like, well, I'm in the midst of downtown Sacramento and I'm in gridlock traffic and I did not stop and get gas in Napa as I should have. And now I'm like 8 miles till empty. And the last time I ran out of gas, it said 5 miles. He's like, okay, all right. He's like, well, where are you? And I told him, he goes, all right, well, if you can get off. I'm like, I can't get off. I'm stuck. And he's like, okay. So then we're talking and all of a sudden things kind of free up.
Oh my God.
And I'm going and he goes, if you could just get past. And I'm like, I'm aware of what to do. I'm not calling you for help. I'm calling you because I'm freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I just need to tell somebody before I lose it and just abandon the car and run. And he's like, okay. So then it frees up and it's completely open and I'm getting ready to hit how. Nope. And so
I would have got over though.
So here's what, I did. And so here's
what happens, at least I can get, you know.
But then my stupid squirrel brain goes, oh, well, I can make it home now. Cause I'm like,
Jamie,
I didn't do it. And then I said, but what if I'll hit Sunrise?
You cannot.
And I'll run out of gas. And all the hobos will be like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like,
running out of gas is the worst.
It's terrifying.
Yeah. Because you're literally stuck and you hope you're on that side of the road.
Right. So I said, no, Jamie, use your stupid brain, get off. So I got off on Howe. And here's the other thing. It is trafficky.
Yeah.
Because it's Howe Avenue. It's one of the main roads.
It's busy all the time.
I could walk to the gas station at this point.
And you're just sitting there.
But the traffic in the light.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on. And I'm like, and Daryl's like, well, I'm not hanging up until you get there. And I'm like, okay.
Because that'll save me.
I'm like, fine. And I go, but at least I'm somewhere, whatever. And he's like, yeah. So I'm like,
it's better than being on the freeway.
I swear to Christ, if I run out of gas when I'm pulling into this fucking driveway.
Oh, I bet you it's happened. It happened
to me. It's happened to me.
Well, I bet you it happens to a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. So I finally get in, I pull in, and I'm like, okay, I made it. I made it. And he's like, okay. He goes, well, I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye. So I get out. I'm so flustered. I have forgotten completely how to put a card in the ATM
You're like, what
thingy.
am I doing?
And so I'm rushing. So
this is why you can't have your husband do it for you all the time.
So I pulled the nozzle and then I put the ATM card in. Well, it doesn't work like that.
No.
You can't do that.
You have to do it the opposite.
You got to be the opposite. And I'm like, fuck. So I do all of this. Now, this is a fine part of town. It's not
I know sketchy.
Where you
are. Yeah, not at all.
It's the orange and blue gas station?
Chevron?
It wasn't Chevron.
Shell.
No, it wasn't Shell. It was orange and blue. 76?
76.
Yes. So I'm at the 76.
The most expensive gas on the planet.
University of Fair Oaks. I know, but I don't at this point.
Well, it's right by the college. It's totally safe there.
So that's where I'm at. But I'm sitting there and there is a hobo and he's kind of lives in the alley.
Yeah.
I know you're not supposed to call him hobos. I can tell you, I saw you wince.
I'm sorry. No, I didn't.
But
it's an unsheltered person.
Whatever. He's standing there and he's smoking.
Houseless person, that's what they call him.
And he's crossed his arms. Now he's just watching me. He's
laughing.
It's like a little show. Yeah. And I'm like, great. Just
the
what I need.
The Real Housewives of Sacramento.
Just what I need. A little judgment from the hobo. Great.
Sir, excuse you. Did your mother teach you it was rude to stare?
Like, whatever. Just leave me alone. And then on top of it, when I was getting ready to turn in, waiting for the thing, there was a woman and she's walking at a leisurely pace.
Glacial.
Yes. And she's getting ready. She's going to hit the crosswalk. And I said, she's going to hit that fucking crosswalk when I need to turn right. I know it.
What, is this before you pulled in?
Yeah, this was before.
Oh, yeah. Like at this point, no one can get in front of me because I'm like going to run you over because you're going to run out of gas.
So I'm watching her and I'm like,
you don't understand.
And I told Daryl, I'm like, there's a bitch and she's walking. And I'm telling you right now, she's walking slow because she's on her way to work and she doesn't want to go to work. I can see it. And she's got her giant frosty and she's gonna walk at a leisurely pace. She's gonna hit that crosswalk. Oh my God. And she's gonna go do 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 do.
I've done this where
and I'm like, fucking go. And I'm like, I know my emergency is not your emergency. I get it. I understand.
She doesn't know you're on empty.
She doesn't know anything, but I'm still gonna hit you.
Right.
Because I need to go.
I have stopped my car on hills thinking that if I run out, at least I can
coast
roll.
Down? Oh, that's so smart.
Well,
so
I mean,
smart.
you know.
And I even told him, like, I can't.
Why do we do this, though? It's so dumb.
I know, I did it to myself completely. Yeah. And I can't.
I've done it, too.
I can't even boonie over the sidewalk because the sidewalk is like 2 feet
Jamie,
high.
you can in your car. See, this is one of the things.
But it was a weird, it's like flooding so that it can't flood. And I was just like, oh my God.
I love having a Jeep.
And listen, understand all me. Like,
but that doesn't change the fact that you needed to
still mad as a hornet,
quash that,
and still anxious, you know.
Yeah,
but I did it, and of course I get home, and you know, because Daryl is who he is, he's like, "I'll never let that happen to you again," and I'm like, "You better not." It was terrible. I know.
This is so funny.
Stupid. Anyway.
No, but you know what? Your scenario is to me unexcusable. Like that was
totally.
Why?
Oh, it was dumb, Stephanie. It was the stupidest thing ever. I was kicking myself the whole time. I'm like, why at any point on that commute I could have pulled over?
Right. Well, you should have done it when you were in Napa. That would have been the easiest. Done it. You're around rich people. It's quiet. There's not like a rush where you're going to be worried. And I
could have stopped in Vacaville. I could have stopped in Dixon. I could have stopped anywhere.
True.
And I never
did. Yeah, before you got to the main.
Dumb.
Yeah, I would have too.
What an idiot.
But I've done it. And when you work, like when I have the full-time job people, we want so badly to either one, get to work and not be late.
Yeah.
Or two, get home, because the last thing you want to do is stop and fucking get gas when you're moments from being in your house after you've been gone all day.
The only thing worse than stopping and getting gas on your way home is having to stop at the grocery store.
Well,
it's
awful. God. You know what? Jerry's learned
worst.
his lesson. I'm like, we better need like a pint of blood for him to ask me to stop. Yeah.
No.
Like, unless you you have a tournament on and you're going to die, I'm not going to the fucking
100%.
grocery store. And if you even ask me, we're having a fight.
Right. You're like, why am I'm
like,
the one?
You've been home all goddamn day and you want me to get milk?
You could have walked to the store and back and still would have made it
Thank you.
before I got home. What are you doing?
No. So anyway. He doesn't ask anymore.
All right. Ugly and awkward moment. I have two. I'm going to share the one that most recently occurred. Okay. So we were, again, in a car, but we were on our way to the grocery store. That's why it reminded me.
Fun.
I was chewing gum. And now, I don't know if you have any white trash behavior that you just won't abandon.
Oh, I'm sure I do.
I do. I have one thing that I do that's white trash behavior. I've never given it up, and I don't think I ever will. And it's filthy. It's trash.
God.
Trash.
Okay.
I spit my gum out of the window when we're going 100 miles an hour.
Oh, that is trash, Jamie.
I do it every time. I'm all, phew. And Daryl's like, did you spit your gum out of the window? I'm like, I did. He's like, all right.
Like, I'm owning it.
Yeah.
I did it.
It's what I do. I do it all the time. I mean, I don't do it all the time, but I do it.
But if you have gum and it's going out the window.
So we're on our way to the grocery store. We're getting ready to turn in. I'm like, I want to get rid of my gum. And so I unrolled the window and I'm getting ready to spit it. And right when I'm getting ready, and I huck it. I don't just go, Peh. I like, hoo-hoo.
You want it far away.
I want it jettisoned. And so I look, and right before I spit, I see a little family walking their dog and their baby. And I went, oh, well, I saw that I'm going to huck it.
And so it was too late.
So I wanted to like take it back. And so it ended up just spittling out of my mouth and down my chin and into the truck. And I'm like, oh no. And he goes, what happened? He goes, did you spit your gum? And I'm like, well, I was going to, but then I saw that little family and I felt really bad.
I recoiled.
I tried to recoil it like a lizard tongue, apparently.
It didn't work.
And it fell down my face and onto the floor in your truck. And he's like, it serves you right. I'm like, I know. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was really embarrassing.
Well, mine is not that kind of ugly and awkward moment, but it's more of and I have these a lot. It's more of a self-awkward. Like, it was so incredibly awkward for me.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was awkward. I'm pretty sure it was. But anyway, so my new office where I work, they've tried very hard to be inclusive with me because I'm kind of not part of the team. Like, they're all probation.
You're separate.
Yeah. I'm outstation. So I work for another department and they've plunked me into this middle of this probation office.
Yes.
So they try to be like, you're one of us now, but I'm not a law enforcement person. So I really am not. Right. But it's very sweet of them to try to make me feel included, right?
What did you do?
But the thing about it is what they don't know about me is I hate being included. I just would rather leave me alone. Like, and
I'm an island.
I'm friendly and I'm polite, but I really don't want to be your friend. And I'm so fine with that. Like, so I have to fake it and like that I want to be a part. So they invite me they have a Christmas party. I'm not used to this kind of joy at work.
You went to a Christmas party?
Well, no, it was at the office.
Oh, I see.
But at my old office, we would do very little, like many cubicle celebrations.
Got you.
We put donuts in someone's desk.
Yeah,
that was the extent of it.
Got it.
Here, they do the full, everybody decorated the entire office. They had a decoration contest. So your unit was judged, and they had it on the overhead. They were like, congratulations to Santa's sleigh. And then everyone was like, yay! Like the whole office was yelling. Wow. It was a huge deal. They had a catered lunch. Big deal. It was very nice. They shut the office. They closed the public, locked them out for 2 hours to have this party.
That's great.
Okay, so it's the whole thing is unusual to me. Now, I had a meeting to go to, and I thought I was going to get away with leaving. Got a meeting, got to go. Have fun, you guys. I hope you enjoy. Merry Christmas. No, because my meeting was about 45 minutes too late. So I couldn't leave soon enough. Yes. They even had a Santa Claus walking around giving lottery tickets out for, like, ho, 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 here's your lottery ticket. And I was like, oh my God, you're so sweet. Yes. So
that's really intense.
It was intense. And I hated every minute of it. Yeah. So they come to my desk. They're like, why aren't you eating? Like, how come you're not in line? Because it was catered and it was, you had to just in line to get your food.
Thank God they didn't do potluck.
No, they did have it catered, but they have done potlucks. Since football season has been going, they've done several of those.
I don't want to eat anyone's
food.
The
good thing about potluck, it's less formal, so I put stuff on my plate, and then I went back to my cubicle and I dumped it all in the trash.
I mean, I hope nobody's listening. I'm just not into
people's food. No, Veronica and I aren't either.
I don't know what their kitchens look like.
Same. Ugh. So regardless, because I was trying to pretend that I was busy and that I wasn't noticing all the celebration going on around me, somebody finally came to my desk. They're like, why haven't you gotten your food? You're the only one. And I'm like, oh, shit. I was like, oh, you know what? I just got busy. I wasn't paying attention.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck. So I go over, I get in line, I get my food, and I was going to go back to my desk and eat. They're all in the conference room. They have set the conference room up so it's a communal dining room now.
You're like, oh no, you're coming in.
Yes.
Tell me you came in last.
Basically. The only ones that were behind me were like the chief, all the supervisors, everybody who waited for the staff to get their food first. So when I walk in, there's literally like nowhere to sit. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I was kind of glad.
Did you just stand?
No.
I would have just been
standing. And then someone was like, oh, you can sit right there. It was dead in the center of the room.
Oh dear.
To where I had to shimmy.
Oh no.
Between people. And because where I was sitting, there was a reason why there was space right there. Because every dud in the office was sitting in that spot.
Oh,
nobody was speaking.
You had to sit in the dumb group.
I had to sit in the dumb group.
Oh, that's your fault.
I mean, and I know. So, and then I'm trying to I'm like, because when we get nervous.
You got to be more aggressive.
Yeah, and the people that I am cool with, like the ones that I actually kind of like, that I was like, I could probably know you and wouldn't be the worst. They were over there having a fucking ball, loud, ha ha ha. I hear all their swearing, and I'm like, see, that's the group I should be in, but...
You're all, so, how's everyone's cats?
Yeah, so I'm sitting next to this guy, and I'm like, this is so good, right? And he's like, doesn't say a word.
Oh, boy.
Doesn't respond. And I'm like, all right, so I'm just going to sit here in silence. I'm going to eat my food as fast as I can.
You're like, I have diarrhea. Get up and leave.
Thank God I had a meeting. So I ate my food, ate it in silence. Everyone around me ate in silence. Nobody was conversing or having small talk. None of that. It was literally the worst.
That's what you get.
It is what I get.
Yeah.
So then I was like, you know what? I have a meeting. It was Merry Christmas, everyone. And I got up and I could not get the fuck out of there fast enough. I was like,
yeah, that's definitely self-imposed awkwardness. And
in my mind,
I've done it. And it's when you see those, you can see it in movies when that happens. We're like, excuse me, pardon me. Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
And everybody else is looking around and like, look, she had to sit next to Jim and Selena.
She's at the singles table.
Yes.
That's so funny.
God.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's the first show of the year. Done and done.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. We are on all the socials.
I'm ready for Golden Bachelor talk.
Yes, we're going to do our Golden Bachelor finale wrap up, and we will see you next week with a new show. Bye.